So we have already studied about the sources of the Harappa civilization. Today we'll be talking about the origin of the Harappa civilization. Now there are two theories regarding the origin of the civilization: foreign origin and the indigenous origin. When we are talking about the foreign origin theory, it is believed that Harappa civilization was a result of migration of people from some advanced urbanized civilization who came along and settled down along the river Indus, and that is how the Harappa civilization came into existence. Some scholars believe it was basically an extension of the Mesopotamian civilization, which was quite urbanized and advanced at that time. So people from that civilization migrated and settled down along the river Indus, and that is how Harappa civilization came into being. But this theory has been rejected on the grounds that there was no trade contact between the Harappa civilization and the Mesopotamia civilization in phases of the Harappa civilization. It was only during the mature phase of the Harappa civilization that they developed trade contacts with the Mesopotamia civilization. So if they had no contact or no trade relations with Mesopotamia in their early phases, how come it is an extension of the Mesopotamia civilization, or how come did people migrate from the Mesopotamia civilization and came here and settled down when there was no contact between them? So basically this theory has been discarded on this ground. The other theory is the indigenous origin of the Harappa civilization, according to which some scholars believe that the Harappa civilization is a result of the evolution of the local extensive village cultures. The local village communities which existed here along the river Indus, they only gradually evolved, became more organized and urbanized, and they only evolved into the Harappa civilization. Now, on what grounds do they say that? Because there are similarities to be found in the pre-Harappan and the proto-Harappan culture. That is, there are certain features which existed during the Harappa civilization. These features were found in the pre-Harappan, the village cultures which existed even before the Harappa civilization. There are certain similarities, there's a certain pattern of growth to be observed, which suggests that basically these local village communities, they evolved into the Harappa civilization. And since there was no contact with the Mesopotamians in the early phases, so it could not have been the point of origin of the Harappa civilization. The trade with the Mesopotamians in the later phases, it acted as a catalyst, and it led to further development of the Harappa civilization. So basically the foreign origin theory says that it was a result of extension of Mesopotamia civilization. It was a result of the migration of people from urban civilization to here. That is how it has its foreign origins. But this theory has been discarded on the grounds there was no trade relation between Mesopotamia and Harappa in the early phases of the Harappa civilization. Then comes your indigenous native origin theory, according to which scholars believe that it were the local village cultures which evolved, and they evolved into the Harappa civilization. And this has been said on the grounds that there are similarities to be found in the pre-Harappan and the proto-Harappan culture. So next, talking about the extent of the civilization, we see that the Harappa civilization is somewhat triangular in shape, and it covers about 1.3 million square kilometer area. Its extent has been particularly given. It extended from Sutka Gendor in the west to Alamgirpur in the east, from Manda in the north to Bhagatraf in the south. Now you have to learn this extent as given in this figure. You can clearly see from north to south and from east to west the extent of the civilization. Then there are important cities that you need to learn certain names of the important sites or the city of the Harappa civilization: Harappa, Mohenjo-daro, Kalibangan, Lothal, Chanhudaro. So you need to learn the extent of the civilization and certainly know some of the important names of the important cities of the Harappa civilization. You can have a look at the extent of the civilization and some of the sites and some of the important cities, names of the cities of the Harappa civilization given in this map. Have a clear look at it. So now we are going to talk about some common elements between the two cities, Mohenjo-daro and Harappa. We see that both are located on river banks. Mohenjo-daro is located on the bank of the river Indus, and Harappa is located on the bank of the river Ravi. Both they measure around 5 kilometers in circuit, the area that they cover. Then the ground plans for both the cities were similar. The layout of streets running from north to south, cutting at right angles, the streets running from east to west, dividing into rectangular blocks. So this was similar in both the cities. Then the drainage system, the water supply, the granaries, these were another common features to be found in both the cities. The indoor plumbing, the way paved bathrooms were made, brick drain pipes were made, sewage channel that they had. So these were also similar in both the cities. So again, these are the similarities to be found in both the cities. You have to learn at least 4 points. You have to know between the two cities, the common elements. So now we'll be talking about the urban planning or the town planning of the Harappa civilization. This is one very important topic. We're asked what are the features of the urban planning or what kind of town planning did the Harappans have. So we basically see that the Harappan cities, they had followed a grid pattern, which was very different from the Mesopotamian cities, which had a circular pattern. Here in the Harappa civilization, all the cities, they had a grid pattern, that is the streets would be running north to south, east to west, cutting at right angles, dividing the city into rectangular blocks, forming the grid pattern. That is how it had the grid pattern. Talking about the features of the urban planning, we see that each city was divided into two parts. One was constructed on raised platform, on mud brick platforms called the citadel. We have studied about that. It was constructed on a raised platform. It was surrounded by a wall. And we see that it had all the important buildings like the granary, the great bath, the workshops, the houses of the ruling classes. That is what were to be found in the citadel. We see that it was separated by a wall from the other part of the city, which was the lower town. The city was divided into two parts, citadel and the lower town. Citadel, constructed on a raised platform. The lower town, to be found at the ground level, where houses of the workers and the working classes were to be found, the residential houses of there. So this is how we see that city was divided into two parts, citadel and the lower town. Moving on to the next feature, the main streets, they followed a grid pattern, that is, they ran from north to south or from east to west. The houses at the street corners, they were slightly rounded so that the bullock carts, they can pass off very easily. Then the house drains, they emptied all wastewater into the street drains. Now the drainage system of the Harappa is quite a remarkable feature of the Harappa civilization. We see that all the house drains, they were connected to the street drains and they were properly covered. So they had a proper drainage system to ensure the drainage of water happening in a very planned way. Then we see that the streets crossed the main roads at right angles, then again dividing the city into the square or the rectangular blocks. So again, you have to know at least 4 features of the town planning. You have to know what kind of town planning did the Harappans have. So now talking about the characteristics of the houses of the Harappans, we see that the residential buildings, the houses, they were usually built on a high mound so as to protect them from floods. The foundations were deep. Then we see the sizes of the houses varied from small houses having single rooms to large houses having 10 to 12 rooms, their own courtyard, shelters, toilets, and their own private wells. Then another important feature, the drainage system, it was well equipped. Each house had its drain, which was covered and connected with the street drains. Then we see that the houses, they were usually made of brick and wood. Each house, they had their own door, windows, and ventilators. These are some of the features of the houses. You can have a look at the Harappa town planning. You can see how it is following a grid pattern. The streets are dividing it into rectangular blocks. Also have a look at the kind of drains that the Harappa civilization had, well proper drainage system. Now we are going to study about the monumental architecture. We see that the Harappans contributed greatly to in architectural designs. As we can see, the Great Bath that we have already discussed in the sources, the kind of features it has, the art of planning and the great engineering skills, which is reflected in the structure. Now we are going to talk about granaries, which is another important architectural contribution by the Harappans, we see that granaries are places where grains are stored. So, with the agriculture coming up, there was surplus food grains which had now to be stored at some proper place. The granaries also suggest that trade must have existed with the surplus food grains kept here. It was sent off to far off places within the Harappa civilization itself to different cities and in exchange for some commodities, so that way indulging in trade. About the granaries, we know that these granaries have been found at several sites like Harappa, Mohenjo-daro, Lothal and Kalibangan. At Harappa, we have found the great granaries, where we have found 2 rows of 6 granaries each. To the south of these, there were circular brick platforms that were used for threshing of grains. It was built on a raised platform so as to protect it from floods. That again reflects their such great planning. Then we see that these granaries also had proper ventilation so as to prevent the grains from becoming mildewed, that is, they do not become damp or there is no fungus coming up. So, just as to provide them protection, they had proper ventilation. So, again, you need to know about the granaries and the features and the important points about it. You can have a look at the picture of the great granary which is found at Harappa. You might get a picture based question as well, so have a good look at it.